And welcome back to Eyewitness News on the Kansas CW. It's 8:30 right now. Time for our legal counsel segment. 436-1212 is the number to call right now. If you have a question, Attorney Charlie O'Hara can help you with. Again, 436-1212. Good morning, Charlie.
Good morning.
All right, we got some calls already lined up for us. Let's go ahead and get right to it. Go ahead, caller. Your question for Charlie this morning.
Yeah, my wife is a long-time employee for McDonald's here in Salina, and they're telling her that she took her vacation in August. They're saying that they're holding her vacation pay until December. Now, yesterday, she comes home and says that she won't get her vacation pay unless they meet their quota. Now, how does that work?
Well, employment's kind of a funny thing depending on where you're employed. Some places you have an employment contract, and that controls whatever's in that contract controls how you're paid, whether you get paid vacations or whether you don't. Some places that you're just hired at will, which means they can fire you when they want to fire you, or you can quit when you want to quit with no contract about how things are done. I suspect that there's something here, some kind of an agreement or how they're paying her that is causing that to be somehow merit earned. It doesn't make much sense to me when you say that. I'm not sure that's proper. I'm not sure that's legal. I'd have to know the details of that, but it sounds awfully strange. So I guess I'd kind of check. There's some government authorities that control wages and what's fair and what's not fair. So you probably ought to check with them. But the main thing to remember is a lot of people are employed at will, which means the pay can be cut when the employer doesn't have as much money. It can be raised when he has more money, or they can have the vacations vary. Some people have to take vacations without pay. So it just really depends on the agreement that you have.
Something doesn't seem right there, Charlie.
It doesn't seem right.
Okay. You know, again, 436-1212 is the number to call if you have a question for Charlie. Let's get to another caller this morning. Go ahead, please, your question for Charlie today.
Hello?
Yes, you're on the air, sir. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, so I was arrested for fleeing and eluding on my go-kart in Buhler, Kansas. And I was wondering what the chances are. They don't have cameras hooked up in their squad cars so when their lights are activated. I was wondering what the chances are I can actually be convicted of fleeing and eluding without any video footage of me on my go-kart.
Well, to convict somebody, you don't need to have a video. I mean, obviously, a lot of things happen that we don't have videos of. Evidence in a case is made by putting the evidence into a jury trial or a trial of some kind and presenting that and see if the trier of fact, whether the jury or the judge, believes that evidence beyond a reasonable doubt. It can be produced by witnesses. If there's 50 people that saw you running from the police officer, well, that's really good evidence. They don't need a video. If there's a video, that would be really good evidence too. Everything can depend on what evidence they have. And fleeing and eluding has two levels, actually. One of them's a misdemeanor level, which is not nearly as serious a crime. One of them's a felony, which could end up with you in prison. So anytime you have something like that, you really need to take it serious. That's a serious charge to have on your record, a serious thing. And I think if you have the money, you probably ought to hire an attorney out there in Buhler. If you don't, you ought to get a court-appointed attorney. That's a serious matter.
Yeah. You know, the attorneys, I imagine, Charlie, would love to have video evidence in every single case, but the reality is you just don't have it that often. Right?
Well, and a lot of people think that to prove something, you have to have this, that, or the other, but it's actually a combination of things that, like we logically have. If a whole bunch of people see it, or someone confesses to it, or they have a video of it, it all depends on the circumstances.
Okay, I think we have time to get one more in. Go ahead, please, caller. You have a question for Charlie this morning.
Yes. I got my Social Security statement that shows, like, when I worked when I was a kid up until present. And I worked for a company from 03 to 09. And on about 4 of those years, it's shown that I made zero money back. And I'd like to know, what can I do to make this right, because I earned more than that.
Well, I think you better get a hold of the Social Security Administration. If they're not reporting the Social Security, or sounds like something didn't happen right. Now, it could be a clerical error. I mean, you don't ever want to say anybody's doing anything improper because you don't know what's behind that. But you need to get a hold of the people involved, and I'd go to the Social Security and maybe even the employer and find out what's going on. If you made the money, they should pay Social Security, and it should be there.
Yeah. I can imagine you don't want to ignore this situation. Do something, right, Charlie?
I would. As soon as I found out, I'd do something.
Okay. Thanks so much for your time again, Charlie. Really appreciate it.